Don't ever go with the flow. Be the flow. And I don't need no middleman to talk to my nigga. I understand if you don't understand. That's where we differ.
Yeah. Welcome to the We Differ Podcast, episode number 8 of the We Differ Podcast. We made it episode number 8. We are back with another episode. We want to thank you, the people, for watching, for tuning in, for listening on Apple Podcasts and for Spotify and YouTube. We're grateful to have you guys here.
Thank you.
I'm here with my lovely, amazing, beautiful co-host E. Did I say that?
I'm not sure.
If I didn't, I just said it twice. How you feeling this evening?
Great. How are you?
I'm good. Maintaining. I feel pretty awesome.
Great.
Pretty
great,
awesome.
great.
Yes.
Before you start our topics, I want to
Uh-huh.
ask you a question. We were just listening to a few rappers and Shells here. We were just disagreeing about everything, just about everything.
Mm-hmm.
So it should only be one answer. These couple of questions I'm about to ask you. What's the greatest diss track ever?
The greatest diss record
Yeah.
ever. Diss track.
Yeah, like rap.
Shit. Tupac hit him up.
Okay. So up until
all right. So what was you watching? What you think it is?
Back to back, like this is rather recent, but
Yeah.
yo, he bodied that nigga
Yeah, he went on me.
like bad.
He went on me.
Even
But, I mean, it ain't like with Pac.
no,
did the big.
no. It is because even if you listen today, you be like, God damn, you're like
Yeah.
I don't want to hear about it ever again.
Yeah. You know what it is? He made that shit into a club record, and that shit was just like he turned the diss record into like a universal record. The shit was a hit. I mean, that shit never happened before. That was a pretty cool, awesome
Okay.
question.
Well,
that threw me off guard. You got another one?
Yeah.
Let's get it.
Best duet.
Best duet ever in the history of music?
Like it's only one song that comes to mind for
How can
me.
you say that?
Listen,
One?
for me, you older than
You
me.
talking about in the history?
Like, just think of one song. Like, two songs actually come to my mind, but one song, man, woman.
It got to be a man and a woman.
No, but this one song I'm thinking about. Just go ahead, duet.
I already know what you're thinking about. It got to be.
You should. Who?
Fire and Desire.
Yes.
All right.
Who you got? What you got?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Fire and Desire.
Okay. See,
I think that's the greatest.
Yeah,
duet.
my number 2 is not a man, woman,
Who is
both
it?
men. The
Pause.
Girl Is Mine
Mike and
and Paul McCartney.
And Paul.
Yes.
Yeah,
They bodied
that was a good
shit.
John. That was a good John.
Yeah.
All right, that was a good John. All right, yeah, that was cool. I like that. We should start doing that.
Yeah.
All right, so we have 3 dope topics for y'all this evening. I think I would like to start with I like this mental health one. Do you think that people take mental illness too lightly, or claim it because it's the popular thing to say?
Or use it as an excuse to act out.
Or use it as an excuse to act out. Okay. Well, all of the above. I believe all of the above, but we can dig a little deeper into it. Let's start with the do people take mental illness lightly? How you feel about that?
In today's age, I believe not. This is rather recent though that
Mhm.
people started taking it serious. I believe that people understand like the severity of these mental illnesses. If you say someone is schizophrenic, like motherfuckers is scared. Like they stay clear
Mhm.
of them people. Like even bipolar, like, oh, what's wrong with you or whatever.
Yeah.
Bipolar, I think people may like use that very loosely, the term. But I do believe that people, because back in the day, not too long ago, when I was a kid, people would just say they crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but now, like, people are using the actual terms, the medical terms for these illnesses. A lot more people are seeing therapists. A lot more people are taking their medication. A lot people are taking it serious because like things. I think it probably had gotten like really bad.
People. Yeah, I think I don't think people are taking it as serious as they should. Enough? And I think a lot more people, the reason I don't think people are taking it as serious because I don't think that a lot of people are being diagnosed. Mm-hmm. I believe that there's a lot of
self-diagnosing.
Not even self-diagnosis, just a lot of people acting out and people are like, oh, you crazy, but not just saying you crazy like you really got an issue. They think this, is this a normal thing in the hood? Like, oh, little such and such, he crazy. He have mental health issues, you know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of times in our neighborhoods, it's like, it's not talked about, it's taboo, you know what I'm saying? And as far as like, I think it's also something that's hidden, you know what I'm saying? People that are diagnosed with it, might not speak about it or be ashamed about it or be embarrassed about it. And I think that's an issue also because I think if we spread it, like.
I've had quite a different perspective. Yeah. Yeah. So maybe it's because I'm not from the inner city that it's like people are diagnosed where I'm from. I have a ton of family members, and that's actually.
How do that come about though? Like how do
some of it is hereditary. Sometimes like it can be a traumatizing experience.
But how do you get to the point where you get to a hospital and they diagnose you?
Oh yeah, you act out. So, that's one of the reasons why I went into the field of psychology because, like, I'm like, yo, my family, they crazy or whatever. So, like, it's never been a thing. I mean, maybe when I was much younger, they're crazy. But even up to the point where I was in high school, like, it's always been like, oh, no. Like, it's something wrong with them. Yeah. It was never... I mean, for such a long time, it's been, like, mental illness or whatever. Yeah. So, they act out. And they get sent to the hospital where I'm from. It's called Bergen Regional. And to get diagnosed. Yeah. So, and it's not hidden like where I'm from. So it may be hidden in the communities. I mean, in the inner cities. But where I'm from, like they use it as like an excuse. They get their Social Security and like.
Yeah. I think up here more is like we kind of like suffer. Here. We suffer and in silence, you know what I'm saying? And we mask things with with drugs and different activities that we kind of get into.
I think that's everywhere where they I
mean, I believe it is everywhere, but it's just like it's not something that's it's common, but it's not something that you see every day, you hear like being mentioned. And we need more type of programs, or we need to be educated more on it, I believe, because I believe like in the inner city schools or anything, you know what I'm saying, it's just not, I think it's normalized, you know what I'm saying? And it's sad. Yeah, it's
I believe that a lot of there's a lot of programs like even here in Philly, my agency, we do some work with like younger kids over at Overbrook. Actually, kids suffering from PTSD or whatever. So like there are people working in the communities to get the word out. And even like Meek, you got motherfuckers rapping about that shit now. So and now everybody knows what it is.
I think I think it's a blessing for the next generation. I think for my generation, we didn't have that stuff. You know what I'm saying? We didn't know what PTSD was. It was an army thing. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't never like if you had PTSD, you had to go to Vietnam or some shit. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good. I'm glad you brought that up because when I was younger, not to expose too much, but like I remember a relative of mine, I was reading their paperwork like not too long ago, and it had mentioned that they were suffering from that. And when I was younger, I always thought, oh, you had to go to the fucking you had to be in the army or some shit. But just this little boy to be suffering from that, and I didn't know what that was then.
Yeah. It's just unfortunate.
But
go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, because I was gonna change the topic a little.
Go ahead. You can change it.
Yeah. So but I do believe that people definitely do. They diagnose themselves. You have a lot of women. Mm-hmm. Just for example, I mean, I'm sure men do it as well, but a lot of women say that they're OCD. Mm-hmm. A lot of women say that they're, oh my God, my anxiety. Mm-hmm. First of all, every fucking body has anxiety. It's not fucking particular to someone who like actually suffers from like anxiety, but everyone gets anxious. You can't point anyone out to me who has never been anxious. You know what I mean? But
but it is levels to it.
Absolutely, and that's what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. So like somebody would be like, "Oh my God, my anxiety."
So how you know if they
because if you have anxiety, like you'll have an attack.
That's not true. That's not true.
If you suffer from anxiety, like all right, so having anxiety, like I said, everybody has anxiety. Mm-hmm. And they will experience that. But if you actually have like a condition, you'll be having motherfucking panic attacks. Mm-hmm. Like you can't breathe. You can't function. Mm-hmm. So what we go through, regular people, mm-hmm. I mean, they're regular as well if you suffer from anxiety. Mm-hmm. But it's a difference between suffering from anxiety and being anxious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, but I just think it's such a thin line that you can't really judge it.
Okay, so
you gotta take everybody's word as law.
Do this. No, you don't, because like
you do,
because you have these are illnesses that are diagnosed, like they get diagnosed with. So you can, like you said, some people self-diagnose. You can't do that.
How are you diagnosed?
A doctor.
But what do the doctor do to diagnose you?
You can research that. Why are you asking me?
Because we
know that we don't just say
they might be as good of a judge as we are.
No, because you can't. First, there's a chemical imbalance. There's a chemical imbalance.
What chemical?
You can't in your fucking.
So they do a CAT scan.
A CAT scan.
A CAT scan for your hair,
all
right?
Whatever you call it.
Mm-hmm.
But just like a girl might, a woman, whatever, mm-hmm. or a man might be super excited or whatever, or just not even say super, because we know bipolar is one extreme to the next. Mm-hmm. But somebody might be upset but then smiling, it's like, oh, they bipolar. No, you're not. Like, that's not necessarily true. So just because you are experiencing more than one emotion doesn't mean that you're bipolar. You should be diagnosed, and those are the imbalances. Just like people
see, but that I think that's part of the issue. And the first thing that I was talking about when we first came on, is like a lot of times where we from, we don't really know things. We don't really know or understand those things. So, you could very well be that bipolar.
Yeah, but I'm not, all right. So I'm not even speaking about people who aren't aware. I'm speaking of people who are aware and diagnose themselves, claiming. How many people you? I mean,
because
look,
I feel what you're saying.
I'm gonna give you an example. I'm very like, I'm an anxious ass person, right? Yeah. Like I be going through it. I put myself through it.
Yeah.
Do I suffer from anxiety? Probably not. Do I be in here having attacks?
How do you know?
Because I don't be in here having attacks, and like, just
it might not be severe. It could just be a thing. It could, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's a tricky thing.
I don't need anything to make me be okay. I don't need medication. all I need is just to calm down.
I don't think nobody needs medication.
Oh no, some people, but that's what I'm saying. Like that chemical imbalance.
I don't believe
you
that.
You do be needing that.
I don't believe that.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That's a tricky joint.
So what's the other part? So do people use these mental illnesses to act out, as an excuse to act out?
That's what we were just talking about, right?
No.
Oh, do people use as an excuse to act out? I mean, act out how?
All right, so the one example that I have on there is postpartum. I've seen a lot of people, a lot of women.
You getting risky, bro. All right, go ahead.
I've seen a lot of women, and I mean, I'm not saying that it isn't, and it's not. Postpartum is not capable of making a woman act out of character. That's not what I'm saying. But you can't use that as an excuse. I know women who use that as not as an excuse, who like fake that and say like, oh, I have postpartum, and it'll be acting out, but you'll be acting out like they're just acting out and use that as I know people do it.
I disagree with you.
You can't disagree with me if I know like it's a fact. You can't. You sound crazy as hell.
I mean, if you know somebody that had a baby and then their emotion changed after that.
Emotion change like what?
Anything.
Because listen,
that shit is wild. It's a real thing.
But everyone doesn't want to have children. Just because someone carries and gives birth to a child does not mean that, oh, I'm gonna be this loving mother if they never intended to be that. So a lot of times women, they birth their child, and they carry on however they want it to, and people will characterize that and say, oh, they had postpartum. Sometimes they do not.
Yeah.
So I'm not talking about like the the mothers that don't want to interact with their children. I'm not talking about the ones that like can't do anything. I'm not talking about that, but specifically ones that
You playing the guessing game.
I'm not.
That's the guessing game, because you can't put yourself in somebody's shoes. You can't I'm not. You can't say somebody not, and that's dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, and I want to spin back around to real like mental health issues, because I don't want to like talk about the real issues and then talk about people that play with it.
Okay.
You feel what I'm saying? I kind of like really want to dig into like the real people that really have issues. But yeah, as far as I know, with postpartum, it's a real serious thing, and
definitely
for the people that I have known who's suffered from it, you know what I'm saying? It's just a chemical imbalance, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's hot and cold. It's like, women go through it, and I believe that it's a big reason why a lot of relationships don't work past that first year, because and this is another thing that we need to be educated on, because I don't think men, really black men in our community, even know what the shit is, understand it, or you know what I'm saying, any of that, because I think if we understood it more, we would have
sympathy.
We would have sympathy. We'll have a better understanding of how to handle it. You know what I'm saying? I think they should have classes for shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Because you could think that woman hates you. You know what I'm saying? And you like, oh, she hate me, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? And you know, that might not necessarily be the case. So a lot of those postpartum things is, man, that's just something that we really need to dig into, something that we really need to educate ourselves on. We need bigger voices on bigger platforms to speak on stuff like that. Go ahead.
Yeah, and just check up on your people. I remember, in my family, I think like 8 people had a baby at the same time or whatever.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and like I don't know why. This is like almost 2 years ago. I was like, dang, I should probably check up on such and such, because people have these children. You just think, oh, be happy. Go ahead and be happy with your child. But you never really. I don't think we seriously consider it. So like I was checking up on my family, and I just was like, yo, are you okay?
Yeah.
But that comes off wrong, and I was being very sincere, and I just was like, hey, like just want to make sure everything's good. And I was close with all these people. I think probably like one of my cousins like was highly offended, like because people just automatically think, of course, like I love my baby, and it doesn't mean that you don't love your baby or anything. But yeah, check up on people. Don't just assume. And that's one of the things I had told one of my cousins. I'm like, yo, a lot of times people go through these changes and people assume that they're good. And just want to make sure you're okay. And she was highly offended. But still check up on your people.
But that could be emotions. That could be postpartum too.
Listen, I don't give a
you gotta be, because you are crazy. All right. Yeah. And before we wrap this up, just to speak a little bit more on mental health and all that shit in the hood, with everything that go on with all the killings and all that stuff. I contribute some of that, a good percentage of that to mental health. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't believe 100%. You can. I really don't believe you can be in your right mind
and kill somebody.
On the other end of that, I do believe, I would say, mental health issues and drugs. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of these drugs people take, they alter your mind.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? They alter your mind, and you wake up in the cell the next day not know what happened.
Absolutely.
But yeah, that and mental health issues. If you need, is hotlines for mental health hotlines and suicide hotlines and all that stuff.
Suicide. Dang, we can talk about that another day, because I think that alone is a topic.
Right, we'll talk about suicide next episode.
Yeah,
that'll be a good one. Are we done with the mental health?
Yeah.
We'll spin back to that on another episode too. We'll dig a little deeper somehow. We'll find
on what suicide.
Mental health.
Okay.
I just like that topic. I think a lot of us,
it's really important,
suffer, and it's just like, because sometimes I think I suffer slightly from like mental health issues. You know what I'm saying? Not nothing major, but it's just like sometimes I don't feel like I'm all the way on. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's such a stigma. I remember my mother. Something had happened, and like I was supposed to be taking a test or something, and this was when I was in school, and like I said, a lot of my family members suffered, and I was expressing something to my mom, and my mom said, "Aaron, don't you go and tell them people that." And I was feeling, I don't know, I was probably like, I think I suffered from depression when I was younger. Like, I was a little girl, and like up until a minute ago, but and certain things onset this depression, but my mom herself, like, I mean, don't you go and tell nobody that, you know what I mean? So even like, and I think that's a older person's mentality, but certain jobs, like it, like just having to report that in certain jobs, like, and not being able to get a job because of that, and they can't discriminate, but like, if you as an employer and you see something like that and somebody's off their meds, like you will probably discriminate against it.
It's just it's just a thing that us as society, we gotta kind of get a grip on, and dig deeper into it, man, because like it's a lot of things that I feel as though don't help. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of the medicines works against you. You know what I'm saying? And I do believe like we can go on it for this for like hours and hours, but you know the shit that I fuck with, the psilocybin. We'll get into that. All right, let me just say this. Let me say
let's
this.
just keep going about it.
Want to make the whole episode about mental health?
I'll stop you. But
all right, well, like I was saying about the medicine, I believe a lot of times those medicines is just like they only they suppress you. You know what I'm saying? They
but
suppress
not all
you.
of them.
Not all of them. Not all of them. But a lot of the medicines suppress you when a lot of times all you need to do is eat clean, drink water, and exercise. You know what I'm saying? And go to sleep on time.
And when you can't do that because you have people who suffer from paranoia and schizophrenia, and that shit is scary. If you see somebody talking to someone and they're not there, it's scary when you see someone having it's scary. Like, have you ever seen it?
I think it's something that we all do.
No, like, do you know anyone who's schizophrenic? Because I do. Like,
I've known people that's
very scary.
Schizophrenic. But like I said, I really believe that we all.
And the people who are schizophrenic, they're doing so well in life right now. And I would not want to see them off their meds because they were in a really bad position without.
So you think medicine is the only thing that can help?
Not the only thing, but listen, I don't want to see that trial compared to where this person who I'm thinking of. I don't want to see that trial because it was a really bad time.
Yeah. Like I was saying, like it's things that's out here that's natural things.
Absolutely.
That can really alter these imbalances. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that we can do that's natural.
But do you believe in medicine?
Do I believe in medicine?
Yeah. Do you believe in science?
I believe in science.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't believe in all this medicine stuff.
Okay. So I am like super I'm like homeopathic girl, like I'm that. But I can't say like if I get a cold or something, like, I don't take cough medicine. I don't do none of that. Anything that I get, like, I cure at home. Anything. But I can't say if I was suffering from like something like schizophrenia that I wouldn't take medication. Like, I can't say right now. Like, I would love to say I would do it all natural. I would love to say it, but it's very
with something like schizophrenia, you need to take your medication.
Yeah, that's
you need to take your medication.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is those medications are a bit dangerous, and those medications are promoted, it's a money grab. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things like I was saying, there's a mushroom called psilocybin that's going through trials right now, and it cures a lot of shit, like fucking addiction, mental health issues, a lot of things like that. And these are things that they're keeping away from us until the FDA can get their hands on it and then put
until
it
it's approved.
Until it's approved. You know what I'm saying? But it's already proven. Matter of fact, I mean, it's about 3 or 4 states that approved it for a lot of different things so far. So yeah, just stuff like that. It was something else that I wanted to speak on as far as this topic.
Did you want to talk about suicide?
Not not this episode. We can talk about suicide next episode. Yeah, all right, let's move on to the next topic.
All right, go ahead.
All right. Okay. Children's privacy. As far as if you have kids, and to what extent do you give them freedom
And respect.
and respect?
Yes.
Do they gotta have their door open, or do you read a diary?
Mm-hmm. Their phones.
Phones, go through phones. Yeah, checking phones and shit. Fuck. That's a tough one. Me personally, I haven't gotten to the point yet of checking anything of my daughter's. I talk to my daughter a lot, and it's certain things that I would never do. I would never go through her diary. I feel like that's just a violation of a person. I don't think because somebody's older and somebody younger, it's just a violation of human rights. You know what I'm saying? If it's a personal diary. Phones, I would have to have a really, really, really good reason to go through her phone. Like a really extreme reason to go through her phone. Yeah, I just feel like you shouldn't do those things. I feel like you should build a relationship with your kid where you can talk to your kid and not be like a dictator, and you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like when you start to do that shit, I mean, then what you got? You don't have any trust. Like the trust is gone, and it's nowhere you can go from that. And I got a lot of that from my mom. Growing up, like that's how she raised me. Like, and I was always comfortable with telling my mom every fucking thing. You know what I'm saying? It's just like.
So you didn't do anything behind your mother's back?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course. But I mean, it wasn't to the point where I was afraid of her or afraid to tell her. It was things that I'd rather her not know. But when it come down to it, like if it was crunch time, like, all right, yeah, mom, you know, I did this, boom, 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 did this, did all this stuff.
Okay. So that right there, I think I would have an issue with right there.
What?
Because it's when the trouble comes, then I'm the person you come to. And as a parent, obviously, but as a parent, I feel you need to intervene before that trouble finds itself to the child.
But how can you intervene if you don't know what's going on?
By if you had a kid, because I believe that children, they get into things like, I mean, I was a child. Mm-hmm. I definitely, like, I wasn't fast, I wasn't promiscuous, I wasn't like that, but like all right, I guess I can't even use myself because I just wasn't that kid. But as a kid, I'll use my brother. He definitely needed a parent's intervention. My brother, like, fathering children at such a young age, he shouldn't have been able to do a lot of things. And I think if a parent had opened the door to his room, or where you going, and like, I mean, I don't know if he had a phone, but if he had a phone, like, nah, all right, so come on, what's going on, or whatever. It's because I thought that was an invasion too. I did believe that. And then my close friend, and she's really good with her kids. She was like, no, that's my kid, and I need to be able to guide him because he just doesn't know. And he's a child, he's gonna make mistakes, and of course he's going to make some mistakes, but the ones that I can intervene in, I need to be able to intervene, because he won't come and tell me things. Yeah, sure, he'll come and tell me this girl pregnant, she need abortion money, but before that even happens, how about, if he's talking on his, and he's texting, and he's saying, oh, come over or whatever, and if I've seen that. Okay, sure, you may not be able to stop them from having sex ultimately, but listen, I've seen that in your phone. Like, now we need to have that talk, and maybe you intervene from them having unprotected sex.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. I just think it starts a lot sooner, and like I'll give you examples of like my mom. I mean, she used to talk to me when I was 6 or 7 about bad things, like all the bad things that happened to her, like traumatic, like real shit. You know what I'm saying? My mom gave me a crash course in life early, and she told me things that most moms wouldn't tell their 6-year-old son. You know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't say this stuff scared me, but it prepared me for life more. You know what I'm saying? It helped me make better decisions. It was just having that open communication to the point where I was put in certain positions. I was able to coach my friends out of bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was certain shit that I just already fucking knew. And I think that's more so what I'm talking about. Like, what you were saying is more like when the kids are already in a mix or when they at a certain age.
But that was just an example, like, because when you're younger, you don't really, like, your parents should be honestly, at a young age, your parents should probably be on everything. That's how I feel. What type of privacy besides a little diary, them changing their clothes, like, and having like privacy in their rooms? What type of privacy does a young child truly need? I think that with privacy, kids get into too much privacy. Kids get into shit, and that's a prime example. Like, kids, like, I don't know about you, but them kids where motherfuckers was in shit young.
I think we looking from different perspectives. Yeah, I think you might be looking at kids just being kids alone. Like, are you talking about like a group of kids just being like alone?
I mean, maybe the parent is in the living room and the kids are in the bedroom.
Yeah. Those are situations where, yeah. And that's another thing, my mom, you can't leave. I mean, I just feel like after a certain age, you can't leave kids alone.
But not even after a certain age. I mean, like 5, you can't leave them alone.
Hell yeah.
So after 2, you can't. Like,
no, 100%. But I'm talking about a solo kid. I'm talking about your kid is your kid one-on-one. So yeah,
your kid one-on-one, and with this technology that they have, they're getting into things over the net. So like, that's very scary. I've seen firsthand what that does.
Yeah, for sure. But
with little girls especially.
But you can't. That's a crash course in life. I mean, that's the game. That's just the game. You know what I'm saying? You can't be so invasive to where a kid, because they will rebel when they turn 12, 13, 14, and you on bullshit since they was 4, 5. I mean, they will rebel.
Yeah, but all right, so I'm not talking about an invasion of privacy, because at the end of the day, I still believe in respect. I still believe that, like you said in the beginning, you were saying that you don't care about the age, like, and I agree with you 100%. Parents more specifically, they like say things like, do it because I'm your mom, do it because you're a kid. Like, that's not, like, I believe that children 100% deserve respect. But respect and privacy, there may be a thin line, but as a parent, you still have to, you gotta play the field, you know what I mean? And make sure that the kid is not taking advantage of that privacy that you give them, or the respect that you give them.
I think, trust. I mean, I don't know, because it works so well with me.
But, and then like, that's another thing you gotta be careful with too, because it's a reason. Someone should trust me. Like, my parents should have trust in me. But just because they trust in me doesn't mean that they should have trust in my brother who took a totally different path. So I think it probably depends on the personality and types of characteristic of a child as well.
I don't know. I really don't know.
I know 100% my brother shouldn't have that at all. If they were lenient and everything with me, they should have been the exact opposite.
Mm-hmm. So you think you came up different because of how?
No. I came up the way I was gonna come up. However, like how I am, I was gonna be this way with whatever type of parenting because I was. Just because of the type of personality I have, you didn't have to push me. You didn't have to like tell me what to do. Like I was a very like submissive child.
Do you believe parents can mold their kids, or you believe you just are who you are?
It's half and half. Yeah.
You think it's half and half? That's interesting.
Because that will show if you have like two parents raise the kids the exact same way and they turn out differently.
I've never seen that. I
just told you my brother.
So y'all was raised the exact same way
together. We were raised, me and my brother, we were raised together, and he turned out the opposite. He did literally everything I did. He did the exact opposite. Literally everything. Yeah, so it's personality. He has a completely different personality than me. He was a follower. I was a leader. And that's why I didn't need a parent to tell me, like, to do these things, to come in and do my homework. Like, I was a little ass girl. Do your homework. He probably going, bitch, you're a year older than me. What the fuck are you even talking about? Like, you had to be on him. I never stayed out after curfew. I always did what I was supposed to do. I always got good grades because I wanted to. He was like literally the complete opposite.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I see stuff. I see stuff like that, but it's usually not. It depends on household. It really do depends on household. All right, let's go to the next topic. Okay, domestic violence, battered women. Should we intervene?
Okay. Break it down.
You break it down.
I mean,
what's going on with this?
No. All right. So, how do you feel about domestic violence? If you're walking down the street and you see a couple and this man is dragging the shit out this woman, what do you do?
I don't do shit. Yeah, I don't do shit. If I feel like it's a life or death situation, a lot of times, a lot of situations, I wouldn't want to put myself, get involved in those type of things. Now, if I overhear a nigga say, "Bitch, you was looking at this nigga and he fucking her up," while saying that, yeah, I'm hopping in that. Because I don't think a woman looking at a man
constitutes her getting her ass beat.
But if she say, "Bitch, you gave me AIDS and you fucked my brother and gave him AIDS too," what you want me to do?
Okay.
Like those are two, like, you know what I'm saying? Like those are situations that's tough, you know what I'm saying?
And it's, I mean, just bystanders. I think I'm gonna be looking down on you as a man. If I see a man watch a woman and like just walk away from that type of shit. I had seen something, it reminds me, it was like, I had seen something, somebody was like trying to kidnap a kid or something. It was like it was a test. They were trying to kidnap this kid, and like they were on a popular street, so people were walking by, and some people try to intervene, some people just looked and walked away. Mm-hmm. And it was often two people, one person tried to intervene and the other person pulled them like, no. So obviously someone needs your help. And
that's different.
So that's why
you talking about a kid. You talking about a woman.
Someone is helpless. If a man is beating a woman, that they're helpless.
You do gotta have a wherewithal to understand that you're not Superman. 1, 2. I've been in situations where I'm with my homie and he arguing with a girl, and nigga roll up. Yo, what you doing? Homie, pull right out. What's up? It could have ended like.
And I understand
for that man.
I
you know what I'm saying?
As well, but as a man,
you don't throw your life away for minding somebody else's business that you don't even know what's going on. You literally have no idea what them people are going through. What's happening? Like I said, if she's in a situation getting beat unconscious, yeah, of course. But if
and you're okay with throwing,
you gotta assess the situation. Because as a man, yeah, I do think that a man is supposed to protect a woman, but I don't think it. It depends on the situation. It totally depends on the situation.
Yeah, I don't know because I don't know. I'm thinking like crazy scenarios, but I'm just thinking like, say if my mother was on a just walking to the store and like somebody tried to like attack her, and then like a man was like, let's say she did have like a husband or something, mm-hmm. and he started like beating her ass, and there were people just walking by, like I would be very angry. Mm-hmm. I would be very angry, and like coming from like I seen like shit like that happen as a kid, and being helpless, like mm-hmm. and not being able to help that person, mm-hmm. I felt like real shitty. I understand what I really do.
Yeah, it's just I mean, yeah. I've like you said, I've seen a lot, and it's just like, man, that woman. You say you hop in that shit, nigga smacking this bitch up. You hop in that shit. You start getting the best of him. He say, baby, running the car. She running the car, get a gun for and try to offer you. You know what I'm saying? It's
so
just,
what about if you come to the if you pull up and you're like, yo, are you okay? Do you need help? And she's like, please help me. So do you ask her questions? And I understand like you could be risking your life, but I don't know. I just can't see like man like just watching a woman, and it's risky. I get it, but a woman, like she could lose her life or whatever just because like a man is like putting, I don't know.
Yeah. It's a tough situation. Those are situations that you gotta fully assess. You can't be out here acting like you fucking Superman for no woman that's gonna go right back to a nigga to whoop her ass the next day. It's just dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then like we make choices in life. I'm not talking about a woman walking down the street and some crazy nigga out of his mind who don't even know the woman attack her.
But you don't know. All right, so you're gonna assess the situation.
But you gotta assess. You gotta assess the situation.
So how about family members being abused?
What about it?
How are you handling if a woman in your family is being abused by her man? What do you do?
If a woman is being abused by her man,
yes,
in my family,
yes,
my immediate family,
it doesn't matter. Yeah, your immediate family.
Oh yeah, it's on.
Okay, so what about if she goes back?
How?
She goes back, and I said she went back.
I don't know. I just feel like if I know about a situation where a nigga put their hands on somebody that I love, a female that I love, I'm gonna try to make it so she can't go back.
Okay, and if she does go back, yo, bro, I just said she goes back. What then? And then he hits her again. Are you coming every time?
I'm gonna have to take them all. I'm gonna have to. Yeah, I just feel like I would have to like kill that person, and that's my biggest fear in the world. Honestly, that's my biggest fear in the world is like my daughter or my sister put me in a position where I can never see myself doing life in prison. But like those are the only situations that I can see like me going away forever over like because those are just lines that I can't like when it comes to that it's just like you know like it's that protector inside of you, bro, and I don't know how to handle that.
I believe when you start telling your older brothers, you better be ready to leave. Once they find out, you just better be ready to leave.
Yeah, because those and that's why I always like, even with my little sister, like I always just been like over protective. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's just I don't know, and I'm not even like I don't know. It's just like a thing that I have. I don't know. Yeah. That shit dangerous.
I mean, but even like not abuse, but like when you see a family member going through it with their significant other and they're constantly going through it, and they may have issues and they'll break up or whatever, or they'll go through something and they may tell their family or whatever, and then they like get back with the ex or whatever. Even that should be weird because they'd be like, yo, how I'm supposed to be around this person?
Yeah. And that's how I feel, because I'm gonna always be a threat, and I'm gonna always start shit. If like I'm gonna always start shit. If I know shit happened before, like I'm not with that. Oh, he changed. Oh, he this. Oh, he that. Nah, niggas run with me every time. And if that nigga could beat me, then I'm gonna bring weapons to the. You know what I mean? Like it's just like that. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
That
I be telling my
man.
peoples every time, like, yo, like not being abused, but yo, y'all niggas going through shit, you getting cheated on, whatever. Don't tell nobody until you ready to leave, because listen, that nigga, you may accept him. Don't bring him around nobody.
Yeah,
after that,
you should always tell people.
No, I just said abuse aside. Did you hear me?
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not talking about being abused.
Yeah. But all that shit, mental abuse, like all that shit. Man.
I just said if you're being cheated on, or something like that.
I'm talking about something totally different than what you're saying. Yeah, all that shit though. Like I just don't like none of that shit. I don't like men putting their weight on women. Like I feel like that's sucker shit, and I feel like that's a penalty that you deserve to die from. Point blank, period. That's how I feel about that shit. Seriously. Because I mean, like, bro, like, and I don't know why I don't feel like that about random women in the street.
So you only feel that way about your daughter and your sister?
I have this thing with them. Yeah.
Just them two?
It's just a protector. Like, I don't like to see my sister argue with my mom, or I mean, it's I don't know what it is. She can be dead wrong. Right? Same thing with my daughter. It's just like I don't know, but it's because they like they my kids. You know what I'm saying? Like they like they. My sister was the first kid that I had part in raising, and my daughter's my daughter. You know what I mean? So it's just like. That's an easy sacrifice for me. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like a no-brainer. Like, bro. Yeah, I'm willing to throw my life away for that. All right, this shit got dark. Welcome to the Weed Podcast. All right, yeah, let's wrap this one up. All right, we all out of topics. I'm sorry to go super dark on y'all, man. I ain't mean to go that dark.
This nigga want to kill people and shit.
Yeah, I was just on some bullshit. I ain't trying to kill nobody. I'm trying to live a long, peaceful life. I'm a peaceful brother. May peace be with you.
Peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings. Love all y'all. Yeah.
Bipolar.
All right, this is episode what?
8.
Episode 8 of the We Dipper podcast. We are wrapping up right now. We will see y'all next Monday, and we love y'all, and we gonna miss y'all until next Monday.
Peace.
Hey.